What is great, Tesla family? It's Bean J back with another video, and in this I need to separate what's the deal with Tesla stock, what's the deal with SPY video, bullet, the question and answer session, 2 or 3 different tickers, separate a few vital levels to look for. What's the deal with the information that just emerged for PPI and starting jobless cases? Likewise, what's going on with more news about the business sectors in Tesla? In any case, before I separate most data, before I discuss what the CH are recommending for the pre-market, let me simply notice several things. I, first and foremost, am not a monetary organizer, so take nothing I say as monetary counsel. And furthermore, assuming you all can, kindly look at the connection which is down beneath and in the portrayal. Assuming you join and store $500, you're insured 20 free stocks. On the off chance that you store $25,000 or more, you're insured 75 of them, and all companions exceptionally soon in only 2.5 weeks. In any case, presently we should separate what's going on with Tesla. Tesla's in an extremely fascinating spot as we're seeing an endeavor for it to push somewhat higher as PPI. And beginning jobless cases emerged. And furthermore for SPY, we're seeing something basically the same. SPY is likewise attempting to push higher as we're seeing purchasers stepping in and attempting to protect it. Thus, we're seeing similar to a contrary response of what we saw during the CPI reports, and we're beginning to see purchasers protecting this market. Thus, I need to separate more insights regarding this throughout the following several minutes. On the whole, we should discuss what's going on with the outlines, then we will make it known about Tesla. Today is Thursday, April 11th. We had 2 primary bits of information emerging. We had starting jobless cases, also the PPI report. In this way, we should go over PPI first before I separate starting jobless cases. Taking a gander at PPI year more than. Here we had 2.1, which is lined up with assumptions, which is somewhat great for the business sectors. This is a forward-looking pointer for CPI, which proposes that the following CPI probably won't be as hot. This is somewhat more sure for the business sector so far. Then, for center PPI, this was likewise at 2.4, a tad above assumptions. The assumption was around like 2.3 to 2.1, so center was somewhat hot, yet all thing. Yes, PPI was true to form, in fact talking. And afterward for month-over-month center, it was lined up with assumptions somewhere in this vicinity at 0.2. And afterward month-over-month PPI was at 0.2, this was likewise underneath assumptions. So by and large, the vast majority of what I would agree from PPI was lined up with assumptions other than center year-over-year being somewhat hot. Other than that, all the other things was near assumptions in the event that not adjusted. That is not really awful. And afterward for, beginning jobless cases, this was at, in fact talking, around 211,000, a smidgen underneath assumptions showing less torment in the positions markets, showing more strength regardless. This is very nice for the business sectors. Keeping on, proceeding with claims was additionally over the conjecture, so it's still actually filling the delicate landing story. Presently over the long haul, we have Williams giving a discourse at 8:45 a.m. I believe that the discourse has previously begun. And afterward, from that point forward, we have some Bill Barters emerging at 11:30 a.m. Collins giving a discourse, and afterward more information coming out later on. I'll discuss that later on as well. And furthermore, Bostic is giving a discourse. That is all we're seeing for the market for the present. The primary bits of information are out thus far. The market has a positive response. As of the present moment, taking a gander at how things are looking, we got a major drop yesterday after CPI emerged. Thus, the market is endeavoring to make a little recuperation. We have a lot of taken care of speakers coming out up until this point. And we just got the FOMC minutes report, which wasn't excessively insane. The Fed actually has plans to cut rates once more, however we'll need to sit back and watch assuming they keep up with this timetable, relying upon additional information that emerges. There's additionally some news that Amazon President Andy Jassy's emerged. He's delivering his yearly investor letter, which is saying that he's focused on reducing more expenses, even as the organization continues to put resources into new development like simulated intelligence. In this way, it's uplifting news for them. Other than that, the retail chain Macintoshes has settled an intermediary battle with a land financial backer Eris. It will add 2 AR House candidates to its 15-man board. Thus, it's some incredibly, fascinating things at this moment, and something DA would definitely merit taking note of. To the extent that Tesla goes, we make them interest news that has emerged. Tesla sent off its second least expensive, longest range Model Y in various European nations. Furthermore, you folks can see here we have the Model Y RWD. Thus, this will take into consideration a greatest reach that permits them to drive without charging. You all can see every one of the various specs here that emerged. In this way, that is a major improvement by Tesla. Which nations? It says it's somewhere in this vicinity. They will send off this. Another one's on the off chance that anything for orders in Austria, Czech Republic, also Denmark, Finland, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg. The rundown continues in numerous other European nations. This one explicitly isn't presented in nations like the UK and the Netherlands as of composing. Along these lines, that is some enormous news that has emerged. It will cost about $52,000. That is the beginning value, as it's the second generally reasonable variation regardless. Also, that will incredibly interest. They likewise have a double-engine AWD form. Thus, incredibly cool stuff up to this point. Extremely marvelous for Tesla, and this will assist we with getting more deals. Also, Tesla's huge deals drop probably won't be the final remaining one, as indicated by various investigators of Flatus Sandler, different spots like that. I previously discussed what fluke player Sandler said. We additionally have Jeffrey experts saying exactly the same thing, that Tesla could be searching for less deals all through the year, as we're actually seeing this making every one of the titles. These enormous experts are expecting around 1.77 million conveyances over time. That is about a 3% downfall from previously. Thus, with these huge changes in gauges, it's not awesome of information for Tesla. That is the manner by which the news is still sort of blended. The Tesla strikes in Sweden are delaying, and they've multiplied down. However, Musk has said that the tempest has passed and things are not as outrageous these days. In any case, regardless, remember that large numbers of these associations are as yet going on in Scandinavia. They're actually going on with the descent, and that is not over for the present. And afterward, remember about the primary title. I discussed this yesterday. As of now, I simply needed to momentarily specify this. Musk will be meeting Modi in India in only 2 or 3 weeks. That is uplifting news for India and, furthermore, Tesla. In this way, so we should discuss what's going on with the graphs. What do I see Kellic growing up to this point? Thus, for Tesla, I'm somewhat worried about this conceivable head and shoulders like construction that could foster here. Assuming Tesla pushes somewhat higher towards 175 and rejects, we could be framing a head and shoulders, yet I won't guarantee that for the present. As of the present moment, Tesla's endeavoring to push to 173. Going to check out what the response is, assuming that we get through this. Search for 175 and check whether we structure a head and shoulders or not. In the event that we get a dismissal begin turning around down, there could be a drop down to the disadvantage later on. Yet, for the time being, don't stress over that. How about we simply see where Tesla wins? Up getting dismissal. However, in the event that it rejects, could push somewhat higher. SPY could help this push to no less than 175 and check out what the response is as we endeavor to break higher. In this way, as of the present moment, is attempting to push higher with the business sectors. However, we'll see what the response turns out to be. Watch 175 as opposition. 177.1 we have 17.5 as support. Notice 173.8. Tesla could endeavor to push higher, yet watch to see the response. On the off chance that we get a dismissal or not, that will be key for the stock SP. It's scarcely at 515 obstruction. Assuming you break this, watch 51615. Assuming that breaks, watch 57.5, followed by 518. Assuming that breaks, watch 520 for help. Watch 514.5, assuming we lose, that we could be sinking as far as possible back down towards 53.5, and for a little push endeavor on Apple, and find out how things turn out from that point. That being said, the market is attempting to bounce back. Tesla could likewise attempt to push higher. Ensure you watch this opposition at our EMAs and perceive how it responds. Be aware of the chance. Reason me that there could be a head and